forbidding me from leaving?
What if I am?
Well, that might make me upset. And we both know what could happen if I get upset.
No, I don't know. What do you turn into the Hulk?
It's not what I'll turn into. It's what I'll say. And to whom I might say it. It seems as if you've already forgotten the nature of our relationship.
I haven't forgotten. I'm your boss. You're a hack.
You know our connection runs a whole lot deeper than that. Do I have to spell it out for you?
Come on, Heather, spit it out.
I require a certain amount of autonomy in my workplace.
Workplace, yes, of course you need a workplace. Being a blackmailer and a poisoner and a gold digger, those are not jobs that require a workplace.
If you can't afford me the autonomy that I need, well, I can just take my stories to another news outlet. One story in particular.
Okay, we've been over this and over this again and again, and there's no need to beat a dead horse. You go somewhere. Why don't you go kill another sugar daddy or something? You go do what you have to do.
Okay. Thanks, boss.
Why would Heather ditch her new job on day one?
I don't know. Why don't you tell her and find out?
Oh, Roger. Hey, what are you going to do?
I'm going to work another angle. Todd Manning.
I'm sorry, kid. I was told your family wouldn't love you. And yeah, maybe that was a lie, but I wasn't in a position to ask questions, was I? And there was a woman holding you and loving you, and I couldn't take you away from her. I still can't. Even if it means I gotta live with blackmail. Go away. I don't want any interruptions.
Maybe you have some time for me.
Don't worry, Luke. I wouldn't let you starve to death. Not until you realized how much you love me. And only me. I hope you like focaccia.
Yeah, come on in. You're Samantha Morgan.
Most people call me Sam.
I have a friend named Sam. I do. He was named after my lawyer. Technically, he's my nephew. But he really should be my son. It's just that I was held captive, which is ironic because, you know, my brother, his father, he was also held captive, but he deserved it. I mean, I did not. And, well, no, okay, here's my point. You know, everybody that I know turned their back on me except for Sam. I was in jail. I'm not even sure I remember for what, and he sent me letters. And he's only 7, so he's not much of a correspondent. But still, I very much appreciated that. Even, you know, ran away from his nanny so that he could kind of watch me in the court the last time I was on trial, and I thought that was very thoughtful. I have a long, rich history with people named Sam, so here I am, predisposed to like you.
Spinelli and I don't...
Give you the benefit of the doubt, even though I'm not sure I approve of your choice of friends.
What do you know about my friends?
Well, John McBain.
You know John?
Oh, everybody knows John McBain. I was away from my woman for 8 years, and we were finally reunited. And I thought, for maybe the first time in my life, that I might be happy. And who should burst through the door to arrest me for killing my brother but Mr. Truth and Justice? No, I do not like John McBain.
Well, he's very serious about the law.
Serious about everything. You know what? I don't think this is going to work. I just don't think it's going to work. Well, you're going to ask me for a job, right?
How did you know I was going to ask you for a job?
When I said that I had to fire my assistant, you said, you know, how can I help? And so why? What, you wouldn't work for me?
Well, if I applied, would you consider?
Well, let's go over your qualifications. You're friends with John McBain, so there's that. And then, you know, you're a private investigator.
What? How did you know I was a private investigator?
Well, it's my job. I run a newspaper. I have to know everything that happens in this world. And if I don't know something, I ask. So You know what? Let me ask you. Why would a private investigator ask me for a job? You wouldn't be investigating me, would you?
That Heather's purpose here is somehow connected to the ersatz husband she professed to have when questioned by state police the night of the storm. Perhaps identifying pseudo-spouse is key to unlocking the puzzle. Yeah, but first I have to find Heather. She appears to have vanished.
Actually, she's right here.
I have a right to be
Thank you.
suspicious. I mean, you come ask me for a job the first day that I'm in this office. You know this is the first day that I've been in this office because I tried to get all this fashion crap off the walls. I told my assistant to get rid of it, well, yeah, right before I fired her. But I do like the windows. Yeah, they're great, right?
They're nice,
Big
yeah.
fan of natural light.
I think you picked the right office.
Yeah, but it doesn't explain why a private investigator would want to work for me unless it was a cover for some kind of investigation.
No, Mr. Manning, you're absolutely wrong. I am not investigating you. In fact, I'm hanging up my license.
Why?
Well, my business partner and my husband are best friends, and my marriage is completely falling apart, and it's really awkward now.
Marriage is a dare. But I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. Anyway, I don't want to be tripping over my husband
Oh, right.
anymore.
We should talk about him, right? That'd be good.
Who?
Well, Jason Morgan, right? I got that right. You know, if he becomes your ex-husband, what is your maiden name? Will you go back to that?
McCall, but I haven't really decided that yet.
You know, both of my ex-wives, they never even took my name, so I didn't have to worry about that, you know? I mean, Blair wanted to be a Kramer woman for some reason. I don't know why, because they're all completely bananas. And Taya, well, Delgado, I mean, she's very attached to her heritage. In fact, I only ever call her Delgado.
Yeah, I think we might have just gotten a little off track there for a little bit.
We should get back to Jason Morgan, right? Who works for Sonny Corinthos.
Yes, they are business partners.
Yes, the business of killing people or eliminating people.
Look, I don't, this is my whole point. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be around him or his friends, and none of it.
Well, but boundaries make for a happy divorce.
Will you consider me for the job?
Publishing is a very fast business. It's a very fast.
Okay, well, I can do
business.
fast
No, I don't know. I mean, maybe you could, you know, if you were 100%. But
Who says I'm not?
Well, you just lost a baby.
I did not lose my baby, Mr. Manning. My child was taken from me. But, of course, I mean, you would know all about that, wouldn't you?
The one thing.
What are you talking about? I didn't take your. I'm not somebody who would just take a baby.
I wasn't talking about you.
Okay.
My husband, if it hadn't been for him, then my son would still be alive right now.
All right, then I'm sorry. I was just being defensive. Usually people accuse me of things and then ask questions later.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to lash out on you.
Okay,
like
well,
that.
don't let that happen again, right?
Okay, I won't.
What did you mean when you said that I knew all about it?
Well, in the first edition of your paper, you printed an article about my son's death, and you included many details, so I just figured you wrote it.
No, that wasn't me. When I bought the paper, the only thing I did for the first edition was put my face on the front cover. I didn't even read the body of the paper before it went to press.
Gosh, I didn't realize
If I had,
that.
I would have put the story about your son on the inside front page.
Thank you.
Well, no,
I
it's
guess.
not that. You don't think it's you lead with bad news. That's what I do. I'm in the business of selling newspapers. That's what sells newspapers. Stories, articles, and pictures about people and suffering and human misery. And I don't have time to be considerate of your feelings and your suffering. I don't think that this is the right job for you.
My son died on the day he was born. Nothing you can print in your paper could possibly hurt me worse than that. I need a fresh start. I have to start over. Haven't you ever had to start over, Mr. Manning?
I'm not following you. I'm here because I'm a birder.
So when you said you had to find Heather, but she seemed to have vanished, you were talking about a bird.
Yes, of course, the Heather bird. Sylvia, Plath featured them prominently in her short story, Initiation, in which they symbolize uniqueness, when in contrast, the sparrow symbolizes ubiquitous conformity.
I believe you. No one could make up something that boring.
You know, the avian life indigenous to this region is quite fascinating. The downy woodpecker, the yellow-bellied sapsucker, and then, of course, the black-billed cuckoo.
What's the tape recorder for?
Well, firstly, it's a digital voice recorder, and secondly, obviously, I'm here to capture the elusive song of the cuckoo.
Really? Let's hear it.
No, please, can I have that back? It's very delicate. You should...
I have tracked the vehicle of my subject, one Heather Weber, to mile marker 13. The site of her peculiar stop-off the night of the recent storm. Why has she returned here? What holds such fascination for the cockeyed cuckoo?
Well, I guess you found your cuckoo. Who hired you?
No one?
It was Olivia, wasn't it?
No.
She's been after me ever since I borrowed her car without asking.
Miss Falconeri has no knowledge of my pursuit of you. I am acting independently because I find you much like the heather bird, unique and singularly fascinating.
Oh, save it, you little yellow-bellied sapsucker. I've seen you and Olivia with your heads together at the Floating Rib. You're in cahoots.
No, we are no such thing.
Olivia wants me out of my son's life. That tramp is probably using Stephen Lahr's hard-earned money to finance this investigation. I'm gonna put a stop to it.
I think you should go somewhere else for your fresh start. Isn't there some other career that you've always been interested in?
You don't want me around.
No, it's not. I don't think that you fit in here.
It's okay. I get that you don't get it. You don't understand. You'll never understand that you would want to reinvent yourself or start over. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Manning.
That.
Excuse me?
Well, my whole life I've wanted to reinvent myself, and I have never been able to. It's not something that's ever going to happen to me. And there have been people in my life that thought I was capable of it. Granted that they were, misguided or naive, or that they didn't know any better.
Like Sam.
Yeah, like Sam. Sam cared about me. He didn't have to, but he did. Even when people told him not to, he still did. And he does. Sam cares about me. Sam thinks I'm a good person. Hero, even. Just so you know, I'm not a hero.
Got it.
You come to work for me. You will live to regret it. I'm selfish. I'm unreasonable. I'm demanding.
That's great.
And the
I
hours are
want
brutal.
to challenge. The hours
And
good. The
I've
longer,
been
the better.
told
I need
that
to be occupied.
I'm emotionally unhealthy.
Please, Mr. Manning, give me a chance.
Sam is grieving for a baby that isn't dead, and Taya is bonding with a baby that's not hers. I know what I've done is unforgivable. But I will do whatever little thing I can to try and make things up to Sam. Hope you know how to read a spreadsheet.
Thank you.
This little investigation of yours is finished. And if you're not careful, you'll be finished too.
Okay, this is all the Kate Howard stuff, so put it in a box and send it to her lawyer. And then if you could call Landview and have them send all of my personal belongings here, that would be great.
Got it.
And we should talk about who to put through on the phone and who not to, okay?
Okay.
If Sam Manning calls, put him through. Likewise,
Okay.
my daughter, Star. My son, Jack, and my other daughter, Danny, neither of whom will ever call me. And, my sister, Victoria, you'll know her right away because she sounds like, hello. This is Victoria Lord. Oh, both of my ex-wives, Blair
Kramer and Taya Delgado.
Yeah, right. Well,
Yes.
actually, you know what? Maybe I don't want you talking to them. Why don't you either put them through or tell them to call back?
Well, actually, I spoke to Taya briefly.
Okay, well, then you know it's really hard to understand her. So, okay. List of people that I will speak to never. Dorian Lord, David Vickers, Clint Buchanan, Bo Buchanan, and Nora Buchanan.
Okay, all right, not fond of the Buchanans.
Well, no
Got
one
it.
is. Oh. And if Tomas Delgado calls, kill him.
Got it.
Cool. Really hope you can keep up.
You're not going to regret this.
All right. I feel pretty good about this.